Okay, guys, let's get started without any further ado. Before that, a quick formal introduction on mine. I hope I'm audible though. Guys, one last time confirmation. Sandeep, Suraj,
Yes,
Alexi.
you're audible.
Okay, any issues with the audio or any distortion? Any problem?
No.
No. Okay, cool. So, nothing. Okay, perfect, guys. So, a quick introduction. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council, and I've had experience of more than 5 years in the cybersecurity domain. And our session today is on Certified Ethical Hack version 11, the latest version of the course from EC Council. This is specifically for people who are completely new to the cybersecurity domain or want to shift their career into the cybersecurity domain. Okay. And before I proceed further, this is a common question that I ask all students to understand their perspective. Okay, so according to you guys, what do you think hacking is? Okay, or what comes up in your mind whenever you hear that term? Again, yeah, go ahead.
Stealing information virtually.
Stealing information virtually in the sense?
Related to computer.
Okay, related to computers. Okay, stealing information. Any other answers, guys? There's nothing wrong in that. That's a completely, perfectly fine answer. Suraj, right? I'm so sorry. Sandeep, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other answers, guys, for anyone else? Again, let's keep the session a bit interactive and fun rather than just keeping it one-sided. Okay. Any other answers, guys? Anyone else who would like to put out their views? Okay, I guess I have shy participants today. But okay, no worries. Okay, proceeding on adding up on the words mentioned by Sandeep. If I had to just define out hacking, hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to gain access to information devices. Okay, for stealing that data. Now, these information systems or information devices could be anything. It could be as small as a mobile phone to as big as a database or a web application server. Okay, and this is done without the permission specifically or the consent and knowledge of the persons owning those systems. Okay, and this is usually performed for the hacker's benefit. Once he gets access to that data in the information system, he could steal it or destroy it or just sell it on the dark web for his own financial benefit. Okay, now if hacking seems such a malicious job or something which is so criminalistic, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? It's the second question. Because ethical is something which is completely legal and which is completely okay with the law, right? So, what do you think ethical hacking is on the other hand? Why do we have a term called ethical hacking?
Detecting any vulnerabilities.
Yeah, perfect. That's great, Sandeep. Okay, you're already familiar, or you have already taken any demos, or you already belong to the field?
No, I have some base.
Basic knowledge. Okay, perfect. That's great. Okay, so when we talk about ethical hacking, on the other hand, this is the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities, just like Sandeep has mentioned, which is perfectly right. Okay, so in ethical hacking, as an ethical hacker or a penetration tester, your job is to find the vulnerability. Now, a vulnerability is nothing but a loophole.
Weakness.
A weakness, a loophole in the information system. So your job is to find these weaknesses which the hackers are utilizing or exploiting, and this is done with the permission of the organization. So you abide by the laws and policies of the organization, whatever they put forward, and using those organization rules, you try to find the vulnerabilities in their systems. Once you find them, okay, you have to report them back to the organization so that they can apply the appropriate patches for them. Once a patch has been applied, that vulnerability gets completely patched up. Okay, and it does not allow a hacker to cause any harm through that or you be exploited anymore. Thereby, with ethical hacking, you're trying to increase the security of the organization rather than trying to cause any further harm. Is this clear, guys? Any questions with these two definitions or basic definitions for us to understand what is hacking and ethical hacking? Sandeep, Bulexi, Tarif, Suraj.
No, sir.
Proceeding further, depending on these two definitions, we can categorize the various types of hackers as well. Okay. So there's someone known as a black hat hacker, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker, and finally there's someone who's a white hat hacker. 1 second. Chat. Okay, thank you. Now, when we talk about the black hat hacker, as I've mentioned earlier, these are the people who have a criminal intent, who want to steal someone else's data or perform hacking, so that they can do it for their own benefit, or sometimes they even do it just for fun without asking for consent or permission. On the other hand, the hero of the story, the protagonist, you could say, is the ethical hacker or the white hat hacker who performs hacking or penetration testing for the betterment of the security of the organization. And he does this with the permission. Okay. In between, there's another third kind of hacker who's known as a gray hat hacker. Now, this guy does not ask for permission like a black hat hacker, but once he finds a vulnerability, he reports it back to the organization for a bounty. That bounty is nothing but like a reward for him, which needs to be given by the organization for reporting that vulnerability. Now, it could be a prize reward, a money reward, or a mention in the Hall of Fame as a reputational reward, anything which benefits his career. Okay, so these are the various kinds of hackers that exist in the market, you could say so. Okay, or in a real-time scenario. Now, each of these hackers, whether it be a black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, perform hacking in a specific professional way. They follow a set of procedures which causes them to have an increase in the percentage or the rate of success in getting access to a target system. And those procedures or steps are known as hacking cycle or hacking kill chain. Okay, or also known as cyber kill chain. Now, various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers. But if I had to sum it up, there are 5 important steps for your hacking or even the ethical hacking part. Okay, so the first step, Sandeep, you could, if you could give it a shot, if you know, the first step is.
No, sir, I have no idea. I need.
Okay, no problem. I'm so sorry. That's okay. No problem. So when we talk about hacking or ethical hacking, the first step is usually known as information gathering. Okay, it can also be called as a reconnaissance of footprint. Second step is known as scanning, which can also be called as enumeration. Third step is known as gaining access. Fourth step is known as maintaining access. And the last step is known as reporting or clearing traces. The reason I specifically mentioned "or" in the last step is because that is where it makes all the difference between a black hat hacker and a white hat hacker. If you're a white hat hacker, you'd obviously try to report all the steps taken and submit that report to the organization, which would contain a list of all the vulnerabilities found. Okay. If you're a black hat hacker, that is a white hat hacker. If you're a black hat hacker, on the other hand, you would obviously not report it, but you try to remove all the evidences, okay, which is nothing but also known as clearing traces, so that you cannot be traced out or you cannot be captured. Okay. Now let's briefly discuss about each of these steps one by one, so you have a clear picture of what is being taught in the course and what are you going to learn about. Okay. So when we come to the first step, information gathering, as the name itself suggests, the step involves a hacker or an ethical hacker to gain as much information as possible about the target passively. What I mean by passively is that this information is gained from third-party sources rather than getting it from the main direct source or a main direct target. You try to get this information from other third-party organizations. Now you could ask, sure, what kind of information are we actually trying to gain over there? This is the information as follows. So you try to gather information such as the IP address information, a range of IP addresses, OS records, DNS records, or employee details such as the contact numbers or the email addresses and so, and domain names and the subdomains of the organization, and the operating systems used by the organization servers or the clients, and if possible, publicly disclosed usernames and passwords. But trust me, it seems like a long list, but all this information is readily available from gold mines on the internet, or from some special resources. If I give you a very basic example, let's say if I wanted to get the email addresses of victims or of employees working for an organization, all I have to do is just go to a website called hunter.io. Is anyone familiar with this website earlier? It's well, not that known website, okay, but this is usually used for getting email addresses of any organization. You can actually use this as an alternative for LinkedIn to connect with other people, but hackers usually use this website to capture emails as well, to perform phishing attacks or send phishing emails. So if I search for an organization such as Wipro.com, if I click on that, you can notice this is going to give me the email addresses of the employees of Wipro, as you can see. And it also tells us which role they are playing in the company. One second. Shodan.io. Yeah, so that Shodan.io is also a very popular website, but that's not for email addresses. That's for getting the IP addresses related to any organization. There's nothing wrong with that, Suraj. You have given a right alternative, but that's for specifically for devices, or you could say server IP addresses rather than email addresses. Hello. Okay. IoT. Yes, exactly. Internet of Things. To get the IP addresses of all the devices of all the servers connected to the keyword that you search. That's a good answer. Okay. But anyways, coming back to this hunter.io, as you can see over here, this is giving me all the email addresses of working professionals who are actually working right now for the company. And also tells you what role they're working for: project manager, IT management, sales manager, whatnot. Okay. And you can search that for any role. If I search for Infosys, you could see it's giving me around these many results for Infosys as well. Okay. It also tells you from which source it could get that specific email address to verify the authenticity. Okay. Now, in such a format, you could get multiple kinds of source of informations for all these different kinds of parts. Okay. So now, as I've told you, these are gold mines on the internet that not many people know about. Okay. But these are special resources, which I'll be showing you most of whatever is available on the internet. I'll give you each and every resource to get this information. And that is the same resource from where the hackers or ethical hackers as well gather such information. Okay. After going through all these gold mines of information, then we'll be going with the next step, which is known as scanning. Now, in scanning, now when we talk about scanning, this is a step where you try to get the information, extra information, which you could not get in the information gathering part. The reason where you can get this extra information is because this time you're going to make active connections. So you're directly going to contact the organization. And from the organization servers, you try to get this information. In the previous step of information gathering, we were trying to get the information from other third-party sources. So if you check out this hunter.io, this is nowhere connected to Wipro.com or Infosys.com. Okay, it's a third-party source, a different source from where you're getting information for any organization. In scanning, we directly try to contact the target service. Okay, so we try to scan their service and try to get that extra information. Okay, so basically when we talk about scanning, there's three important types of scanning. There's network scanning, port scanning, and vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, you try to figure out all the active devices in a target network. So from your device, from your own laptop, or from your own machine, you can try to scan all the active devices in the target's network. Okay. Secondly, after you scan for the active devices, on those devices, you can perform port scanning to figure out what ports are open, and on those ports, what services or what applications are there. Finally, you perform vulnerability scanning, figure out on those ports and on those services, are there any vulnerabilities? Okay, so for these, we'll be using very important tools which are used in the market or in real-time scenario organizations such as Nessus. So Nessus is a paid tool. You can download it from this website. As you can see, there's a trial version as well, and there's a professional version. This is used in organizations. So you don't have to purchase the tool when you work for a company. The company itself tries to purchase that tool for you to use. But we need to learn how this tool works. So therefore, there's a trial version as well. And this is perfectly as good as the professional version. If you notice, I have the Nessus trial version posted on my system. Let me log in and show you how the tool looks like. So this is how usually a tool would look like, such as Nessus, and it has different scan techniques in a real-time scenario in an organization. You use the same scanning techniques to perform vulnerability scan. And once you perform a scan on your own local network, if any system has a vulnerability, it shows you what are the critical vulnerabilities or the high vulnerabilities. So all this is automated scanning for checking out vulnerabilities on different systems in the organization. We'll be checking out on how to perform automated scanning as well as manual scanning. Okay, once scanning is done, we try to attack on those vulnerabilities one by one. And that is known as penetration testing. Okay, in simpler terms, after a tool like Nessus generates a report, on that report you perform manual testing, which is also known as penetration testing. And we'll be learning about that as well in the whole course. Okay, but shifting back to our presentation, I just wanted to show you what kind of tools you're going to be using, because these tools are the ones which are used in organizations as well. So what I'm trying to say is the things that you're going to learn with the course are completely real-time scenario based, okay, with the tools that are used in organizations in the present working environment. Okay. After scan, we go to the next part, which is gaining access. Now, this is a huge concept which covers a vast variety of topics. Here are the topics as follows. So the first topic that we'll be discussing is system hacking. So in this class of system hacking, we'll learn how we can crack or bypass a Windows operating system password. So whether that be a Windows 7 or Windows 8, 8.1 or Windows 10, I'll be showing you how you can crack that operating system password. And if it is too strong to crack, how do you bypass it and get access to the internal system files, okay, which is nothing but completely deleting or erasing the password. Okay, even without knowing the password, how do you get access to the internal files is what we'll be learning in the system hacking class. After that comes malware attacks, where malware is nothing but malicious software. And in that, you have a lot of categories again. There's viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, rootkit, whatnot. Okay, and we practically learn how to create each of these malwares, how do hackers develop these malwares, and how do you prevent yourself or defend yourself from these different kinds of malwares as well. Okay, then there's an advanced concept called malware advanced. This is not included in the CH curriculum by EC Council, but we have added this so that students can have a better understanding of how malwares are developed. So in this class, we basically learn basics of Python 3 programming and how to write our own keylogger using that programming code. Okay, a keylogger is a tool.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
What is keylogger?
Yeah, coming to that, I was about to say that itself. A keylogger is a tool, as the name itself mentions. It can log all the keystrokes. So once a keylogger is installed on a target system, whatever the target types on a system, whether that be usernames or passwords or any random data on in a notepad file, it will log each and every keystroke and send it to the attacker.
Okay, you mean it will record all the keystrokes?
Exactly, it spies on all the users' keystrokes. Okay, and will send that data to you. Okay, so that's the keylogger. Okay. And we'll be using how to develop that keylogger using Python language code. Okay, so that is included in the malwares advanced class. After that, there's network pen testing, where we learn all the common network attacks, such as sniffing attacks or MITM attack, man in the middle attack, or denial of service attack, or hacking Wi-Fi routers and cracking their passwords. All that comes under the network penetration testing part. So in sniffing, we'll be using a very important tool called Wireshark. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that tool, but this is a very popular tool that is used in organizations as well to capture packets. Sniffing is nothing but capturing all the packets that are running or being transmitted in a local network. So this is also a very important tool. And again, a real-time scenario that is used in organizations in the present world. Okay. After that, we'll be going with social engineering, where I'll show you how hackers create fake replica pages or fake login pages. If I show you an example, I have hosted a fake Instagram page in my own local network. So if I log into my Kali system, don't worry guys, what a Kali system is. I'll explain that in a short while. But if you notice over here in my browser, I have an Instagram page. And if I enter any credentials in this, let's say, let me enter a few student names, Bulexi and Suraj or something. So let's say I enter something like Suraj123@gmail.com. And let's say enter a password such as Bulexi 123456789. Okay. And once I click on login, you can notice this redirects to the original page now, which is an exact replica if you notice. Okay. So in that way, I'll be showing you how you can create an exact replica of any site, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or any social media site, or Suraj, exactly, phishing, where you're trying to create a fake login page and you're trying to send that as a phishing link. And whatever credentials I enter in that, I can capture them in my local machine. So if I just go back a step, if I open up my terminal, let me show you where I've captured that credentials. Instagram. And as you can see, I've got the username and password of what I typed in that page. Okay, and this can be done for any website. Okay, if I just give you a list, you can see I can do that for Amazon, for Apple, for Bitcoin, for Dropbox, for Facebook, Google, Instagram, Microsoft, Netflix, whatever. If it's not even listed out over here, even then I'll be showing you techniques of how hackers can create a fake login page and get the credentials from that by sending those links to victims. Okay. Then after we learn the attack techniques, I'll also be showing you defense techniques of how do you prevent these kinds of phishing attacks and how do you protect yourself from these different kinds of attacks. Okay. After that comes the web application pen testing part, where we learn all the common vulnerabilities that exist on websites. Okay, using these vulnerabilities only, hackers try to attack on websites or get the access to databases and the usernames and passwords. Okay, so there's a lot of weaknesses such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, fire upload vulnerability. These are all the loopholes or weaknesses that could exist in websites. So we'll be checking out how to test for these vulnerabilities, how to use these vulnerabilities and get access to the databases in the backend. Okay, so for this, we'll be using a very important tool called Burp-Suite. I guess you're familiar with this. This is a proxy tool that is used in organizations. I will be using the Pro tool, which is a paid tool. Okay, I'll be sharing the cracked version of this, which I'm using on my system as well. So you don't have to pay for any of these tools. I'll be providing all the cracked versions for free. That is included with the course itself. Okay, whatever tools we use, this course is designed in such a way where you'll be learning all the tools that are used in real-time scenarios itself. Okay, there is no, what do you say, theoretical part. I won't be boring you with all the theoretical content. the whole course is divided in a format of, you could say 10:50 ratio. But for the first 10 minutes, we'll be discussing the theoretical parts, and the rest of the 15 minutes in the hour, we'll be discussing all the practical parts. Okay, so there's no boring of theoretical concepts. Everything is practically implemented in our own lab setting. Okay, after that, coming back to our demo session, after web application pen testing, we learn about vulnerability assessment, also known as penetration testing. If you remember, I've told you, once you get a report, you have to perform manual testing. That manual testing is known as vulnerability assessment, where I'll be using a tool called Metasploit framework. Now, that is a tool used in organizations again to perform manual testing. Finally comes hacking mobile phones, where I'll show you how you can hack an Android phone and get access to it remotely over the internet. Okay, so this is a very comprehensive course where you're learning to attack all the different types of endpoints or different kinds of devices, whether it be a network, whether it be a phone, whether it be a Windows system, whether it be a router, doesn't matter. Okay, we are trying to learn how to hack each and every device in a local network that could exist. Okay, and again, since not everyone could be from the computer background, technical background, so what we have done is we have included the prerequisites in the course itself. So before we dive into all the advanced concepts, we will take a few introductory classes as well, such as virtualization, basic concepts of networking, Linux and Windows commands. And after the basic classes are done, after all the basic core concepts are covered, then we dive into the advanced concepts. Okay, virtualization is where I'll be using a tool like VMware. So if you notice on my desktop over here, I have a tool like VMware. If you notice, this is the tool that I'm using to run multiple virtual machines in my local lab setup. So this is how the VMware tool looks like. Again, this is also a paid tool. I'll be using the cracked version. I'll be sharing that file with you as well, so you can replicate the same lab setup on your machines. Okay, and inside this VMware tool, I'm running the Kali operating system. Kali is completely free though. Okay, but it is a Linux-based operating system. Okay, so the reason why we're using Kali Linux specifically is because this comes pre-installed with all the hacking tools or penetration testing tools. Okay, these tools are not available for you in a Windows environment. Therefore, we need to learn how to use a Kali Linux operating system. And since not everyone is familiar with Linux, we'll be taking a class where we learn about all the basic Linux commands as well. Okay, after all the core concepts are completed on networking, Linux and Windows commands, then we dive into the advanced concepts. Okay, so if I've not covered any concept in the demo class, I'll be sharing this link with you guys as well, so you can go through these concepts and you can just figure out what all concepts are being taught in the class. Any questions, guys, up to this part before I proceed further?
Sir, is there difference between, what is the difference between ethical hacking and cyber security?
Cyber security is the domain, Sandeep, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like how you have networking as a domain, or management as a domain, or administration as a domain. Cyber security is a domain.
You mean it's a subject?
It's a subject, yeah. Under cyber security, one of the courses is ethical hacking. Okay, there's ethical hacking, there's forensics investigator, there's SOC analyst. These are different streams in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is like the main domain under which you have these different courses or different streams of categories of topics. Okay. So, any other questions, guys, before I proceed any further? Sandeep, Alex, Tarif, Raghav, Shravan, Suraj. Guys, if you have joined the demo late, if there's any topic confusing, please let me know. I could repeat that thing for you. I guess some new people have joined, who might have been a bit delayed. Shravan, Raghav, Tarif, any questions? Can I get the recorded video? Yeah, I guess DurgaSoft has uploaded a video on YouTube, guys. Tarif, you can contact the institute once to access the recording of the demo session. If they are unable to provide that, you can just contact me directly. I'll send the recording as well. In case, guys, if you have any queries regarding these topics, technical queries, you can contact me directly on my number. I've mentioned it over here in the PDF file, which is 76800696768. Okay. If you have any queries regarding these topics, please let me know on my number. Or if you have any queries regarding the batch timings or the fee related part, please contact the institute. Okay. Such queries can be clarified with the institute directly. Okay. If I'm not wrong, the course is priced at a very low price compared to other institutes. The other institutes were charging around 25 to 20,000 for the whole course. Okay. But DurgaSoft is providing it for 8,000 rupees. That's a lot lesser compared to other institutes. And I guess they also provide you the installment part. Okay. You can pay the course in multiple installments. And yeah, it's a very simple course, which is like we are going to be covering from the very basic to the advanced topics in the course. Okay, for people who are completely new to the domain of cybersecurity. Okay, so yeah, that's on my part. Any questions, guys, before I proceed? I'll be showing a small practical, if it's okay. But after you ask your questions, if there's any questions, you can let me know. If not, I'll proceed further. Alex, Tarif, Raghav, Shravan, Suraj. Any questions for anyone, guys? Sandeep.
Oh.
Suraj is saying any projects, sir. Suraj, I'll be telling you how to perform pen testing. Okay, where I'll show you if you have a website, if you have any virtual machine, if you have any device, how do you perform pen testing on that? So that could itself act as a project for you. But you understand, again, we are not going to be providing any separate project, because in cybersecurity, there's no such thing as a project actually. You only have to perform pen testing on a live device. Okay, if there's a website or any live device, and if you have to check for vulnerabilities on that. Okay, so again, you will be learning of how to perform bug bounty. Okay, where you learn how to perform pen testing on a website to check if any website has a vulnerability. So that you can't take that as a project, but you can take it as a task. Okay, and you can put that in your resume. In cybersecurity field, you don't have any such project like any other domain. Okay, because in development, you could develop a tool and put that as a project. In cybersecurity, you're not developing anything, you're performing testing. Okay, so you could test a website or you could test a vulnerable machine and report all the vulnerabilities on that. Okay, and that you can add to your resume for better credibility. Okay.
Hello.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Tarif. Sir,
Hi,
just I want to ask that I am a working person, right? So
okay.
if how I miss any classes like 8 to 9 p.m. some work is there from the office. If I miss any classes, so can I get the recorded videos?
Exactly. So the one good thing with DurgaSoft is Tarif, every single class will be recorded and it will be uploaded to the drive at the same day. So you can access the recordings from the drive, and later on, if you have any questions in the recording as well, you can contact me directly and clarify for you. Okay. So with DurgaSoft,
so
you have all
I will get only recording or a video recording. Whole video I will get.
Video recording, Tarif. Why would audio be helpful? You'll have the whole complete video recording of the session, right?
Okay. And one more thing, you will cover the web application also, web application penetration testing.
That's a separate course actually, but we cover a part of it in the ethical hacking as well. So once you're done with ethical hacking, if you're interested, you can join the web application pen testing course as well separately. Okay. So any other queries, guys?
Where can we get this web application penetration testing? When is it going on? Or when is it going to start?
Once this ethical hacking course is done, you can start with the web application pen testing class. I'll be
the one taking it.
I'll be the one taking. I will be the one who teaches this.
Okay.
Any other questions, Alex or Tarif, Raghav, Sandeep, Shravan, Suraj?
In case you want to do the certification, is there any questions to prepare for the certification exam?
We help with the certification as well, Alex. Once you're done with the course, we can assist you in the certification. We do provide certifications as well. So if you have any questions related to the certification, you can let me know. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Is this course for beginners or?
This course is for people who are completely new to the cybersecurity domain. So we will be covering it in an aspect of someone who has no knowledge on cybersecurity at all. Okay, so this is from beginner to intermediate level. If you want an expert level course, after you're done with CEH, you can do with the web application pen testing. This course is a completely advanced course. We'll be not covering any basics or foundational concepts. You'll directly jump into the penetration testing part on websites. Okay, but if you directly take this course, you would not even understand a single bit unless you're thorough with the foundational concepts, which are covered in the ethical hacking part. Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Any other queries, guys, or any other questions?
Is any coding required for ethical hacking?
No, definitely not. There's one concept where I'll be teaching this malware's advanced class. and whatever coding is required, I'll be teaching it myself. Other than that, if this topic was removed, other than that, any other topic does not require any necessity of developmental language knowledge.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a minimum requirement of a development language in the cybersecurity domain. Unless you're going for something like malware development, other than that, you have no necessity to learn development language codes. Any other queries, guys? Sandeep, any questions?
No, sir.
Perfect. Okay, let me show you a very small practical, a very simple one again, just to show you how you can capture information of a target system by using any random link. So let's say if I open up a YouTube page, for example, time being, okay, I'll show you how you can send a random YouTube link to someone and get their information, their device information from that same YouTube link. So for example, okay, I guess this is a very common practical, usually shown in the, okay, this is a very common practical usually shown in organizations or in demo sections, and you might be familiar with it already, but just a quick recap. So let's say I take any random video of your choice. Let's say I go with any random. So let's say I go with this one. Okay, so there's a video such as Mobius, whatnot. And this is an official YouTube page, nothing wrong. I'll just copy this link. And now I'm going to open up a new tab and search for a website called Grabify. Okay, this is an IP login site. What this does is it has the capability to capture login requests or capture the IPs of the people who click on that links. Okay, so this is also used by organizations such as Flipkart and Amazon as well to track your IPs and to get your device information. But again, this website directly gives you that access to log others' IPs as well. So all it requires is a valid URL. So if I just paste that URL over, the one which I've copied from YouTube, and if I click on create URL, this will give me a completely new URL. Let me show you that. So if you notice, I have the original URL over here, the YouTube URL, and there's a new URL called Grabify. If this seems a bit suspicious, you could also change the domain for that. So if I just scroll down, depending on your target, let's say if your target is interested in dating websites, you would select a dating link. If your target is interested in gaming websites, you could select a gaming link. If it's interested in development, you could select a development link. So on, there's different options for you. Let's say I select something like gaming, okay, or cats and things. Okay, let's say my target is interested in animals or funny videos or stuff, and I could just give a cats and things link, and I could give something like a watch. Okay, so I have a new link now, a completely secure HTTPS link, and I can click on Smart Login to get their device information as well. So I'll just copy this new link now, and let's say I share it in the chat box with you guys. Okay, again, guys, nothing malicious, nothing wrong. Okay, I'm not going to get access to your systems or anything. This is just a very basic information gathering. Okay, so I've sent a link in the chat box if you notice over here. And just for me to show you the practical, I would recommend someone clicks on it so I can proceed further and show you the results. Okay, so if you're clicking on this link, guys, please let me know so I can let you know what is going to be the next part of it. And once you click on it, the next part that you'll be getting is the next same website, same YouTube page. Okay, so if I click on it myself, as if I just copy this link, and if I open it on my tab as well, let me just show you that. And if I open it, if you notice, my YouTube page over here is something like Mobius First Vampire Transformation Scene. And if I check over here, I'm getting the same. Okay, now if I go to the tracking page, and if I just refresh this once, now you'll notice I'll be getting some results. A couple of results. So I've got 3 over here, as you can see. One of them is this one, like from, this is the IP. Firstly, it will show you what is your public IP. So this is the public IP that is being given to you from your ISP. So if I just search for what is my IP, this is my IP, as you can see, 122, 182, 235, 240. If I click on this link, you can notice it shows my ISP. It shows my public IP as well. Okay, and if I go to tracking, you will notice one of them is mentioned over here. This is mine, and if you notice, it gives my device information. So a location might not be accurate, guys, don't worry about that, but the IP is accurate. So I know what IP I'm using, I know what is my screen size, I know what is my system processor, I know what browser I was using and what version of it, what is my operating system information, and what is my ISP. Similarly, if anyone else clicks on that as well, I get their device information as well. So they
I can't even open it.
sorry. Hello.
I can't open it. I clicked, but I can't open it.
Oh, you have opened it. Okay, 1 second.
No, it can't open on my side. It can't open.
Sorry, it's what?
I can't open. I clicked, but it's not opening. It's blocking it. My browser is blocking it.
Your browser is blocking it. Okay, maybe this thing. If I just go back, maybe this URL has been blocked. I can use a different URL. I can just change the domain to something else and send that. Okay, but no worries, Alex. I'll be showing you other alternatives as well. If that doesn't seem to work, there's a lot of tons of websites. But let me just show you what is actually happening. Okay, if you notice, I've got a few results over here. And Alex, you can do one thing. You can just check out what IP you're getting. Even if it is not opening for you, I might have captured your information. So one of you guys has this IP, who's using a Samsung browser, Android 11, and this is your device, guys. You need to disclose this information. Okay, I'm just showing it as an example. One of you guys is using a Samsung device. This is what I know. I'm using an ACK-POP IP, and this is your public IP, and your operating system.
I think that's me.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's Sandeep. Okay, cool.
Yes.
After that, there's someone else who's using a Android 11 phone again, and it is using Chrome mobile, and this is their ID, and they have seen that they might have used a VPN as well. Okay. After that, I know that this is your processor, this is your Android operating system on your phone, and using the Airtel fiber. I mean, ACK fiber again. After that, there is someone who has. Oh, this is my ID. I'm so sorry. Then there's another one from here in Switzerland. Maybe they could have used a VPN as well.
Yeah.
Oh, this is yours. You have used a Chrome browser, Windows 10 operating system, your processor. You are using a graphic card as well on your system. And yeah, this is your information. Your page did not open, I guess, Alex, but still I could get your information, as you can see. Okay. Lastly, there's someone, okay, same information, I guess, Samsung. I guess, Sandeep, you might have clicked on it twice, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I got two logs over here. So as you can see, this is quite enough for a hacker actually to use this information to hack your device. What he will do next time is he will try to generate a malware depending on your operating system. So if using Android 11, now he knows he needs to specifically use an Android malware. So next time when he uses a link, he'll upload an Android malware with that link. And when you click on it, from the next time, he'll be having your system access as well. Okay, that is what they learn in the Android hacking class. Okay, but in order to know what kind of a malware needs to be generated for your device, he could use a link like Grabify as such, a very simple page, which is nothing malicious. So he could actually upload this to his WhatsApp status or his Instagram story or anywhere. And people usually click on those links in those stories or in those WhatsApp statuses. Okay, and once they click on it, automatically the hacker gets your device information. From that information, he goes further to generate the malware. Now this is information gathering part. In the further part, we'll go gaining access part. Okay, this is clear, guys. Any questions up to this part? Abhijit, there's a new person. Abhijit, I guess you have joined a bit late, but no worries. We'll be taking a demo session tomorrow and the after as well. In case, guys, you have joined late, and if you want to join the session again, tomorrow and the after tomorrow as well, we'll be taking the same session, the same demo session. Okay, so any questions, guys? Any queries or questions before I end the session? Alex, Mohammed Tarif, Raghav, Sandeep, Shravan, Suraj, any questions?
No.
Okay, guys. So yeah.
How many days of demo are we having?
So two more classes for the demo. So maximum will be starting the first class on Thursday. We'll have classes from Monday to Friday. And once a few couple students join the classes, we'll be starting the classes from Thursday or Friday, max to max.
And how can I make payments? Because it's possible that I won't be able to participate, but I'll get access to the video later on because of the time difference and work.
Oh, okay, sure. You can contact the institute, Alex. Okay.
Yeah.
The course duration is around 30 to 45 days, Suraj. So please contact the institute for any payment. And if there's no response from you, you have my number over here. This is my WhatsApp number as well. You can contact me.
Okay, let me take your number now.
Sir, is this your personal number?
That is my personal number, guys. 768-0069768.
Okay.
I've shared it in the chat as well. You can copy that now. Atlin, Alex, no, we don't require any coding language knowledge. That is not at all necessary. Suraj, as of now, there are no weekend batches. There's only weekday batches. Weekend batches, we need to gather a few students for that. So most of them prefer 1 hour class. On weekends, we have a longer duration, but 4 hours or so every on Saturday and Sunday. Each day we'll have a 4-hour class. And usually students they find it tough to stay for that long. Usually they prefer weekday classes. So that is why as of now, we don't have any weekend batch. But in case if there's a huge inflow for weekend, if there's a huge requirement for weekend, we'll start that as well. Okay. But as of now, there's only weekday classes. In case if you need a necessity for that, please ask the institute as well, Suraj. And if there's a couple students gathered, we can start a weekend batch as well. Okay. Any other queries, guys? Yeah, Shravan, after the course is completed, will be provided a course completion certificate. If you want a certificate from EC Council separately, you'll have to write an exam for that. Okay, you'll have to make a payment to EC Council, and you'll have to write an exam. And that after that, you'll get a certification directly from EC Council, which you'll be getting a CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker certification. Okay, and we help with the certifications as well. We give discounts on certifications, and we also help you give you 100% pass guarantee. That is completely assured. Any other questions, guys? Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more. I hope you have liked the demo session. I hope there were no audio issues or video issues. I hope everything was clear and crystal perfectly clear. And yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more. Please take down my number if you have any further queries. And if the institute does not respond, please let me know. I will forward your information to the institute. Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more. I hope to see you soon in the classes. Again, one last time, it's a very it's a course provided by DURGASOFT for a very low price. You won't be getting the same price anywhere else, is what I can guarantee for sure. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Nothing more, guys. If there's any queries, please let me know. If not, we'll be starting the course directly from Thursday. If you want to join the demo again, you can join tomorrow and day after at the same time. Okay, if you have missed out the demo session today, or if you join late, you can join tomorrow and day after tomorrow as well. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for attending the session today. I hope you have liked it. If there's any feedback, please let me know. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. I'll see you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.